everybody.
What up, what up, what up?
My name is Tim Daniel. His name is Ben Brown. And welcome to this week's edition of Late Night Reds, part of the Riverfront Media Network and the Blue Wire Podcast Company. First things first, thank you all for hanging out with us as always. This is brought to you by our wonderful friends over at SeatGeek. If you are needing some tickets and you have not used SeatGeek before, use our code Riverfront to save you $20 off your first order. We would definitely appreciate that. Also, this would not be possible without our wonderful friends over at patreon.com/riverfrontcincy, where you can join us for just a couple bucks a month and hang out with us in our wonderful Slack channel. We're always hopping, always got a few things to talk about over there. So always active over there for people who want to hang out with us and more. And then, of course, it's not brought to you this week by Sheets, though we still appreciate when they send us free stuff. So we'll take that.
Absolutely. Always love Sheets.
Absolutely. So Ben,
Yes, sir.
it was a poopy weekend.
Oh, yeah. Brutal.
Yeah. All right, let's run through it, shall we? Friday, they fall down 8 well, first off, they took the lead 1-0. Jonathan India starts the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give up 8 straight runs, and they rally in the fourth to make it within blast range, but I'm sure David Bell probably said he was really proud of the team and how they fought back and how they really showed grit and enthusiasm to try to get back in the game. Just a typical David Bell, Marvin Lewis quotes of like,
I'm so tired. Like I was, and I know it's rant time with Ben. So
full screen.
I'm really, really, really frustrated with David Bell. I honestly, I'm very upset, and it bothers me when I'm watching him do an interview, and everything sounds the flippin' same. Our guys play hard. This team, they show toughness. They never quit. They that. And I get it. I know he's trying to be positive, and I know he's trying to say the right things. I get that. But dude, this team has underachieved and been underwhelmed. And I can't honestly say that it's all his fault. Matter of fact, really honestly, I can only say about 30% of it is his fault. Because like we've talked about before, you can only cook with the ingredients you're given. But dude, it's at some point, like even in that game on Saturday, he was like, we had chances and we put up runs. We just didn't score enough runs. Well, no crap, David Bell. Like that's how baseball works. You got to score more runs than the other guy. I don't want to hear that. I really don't. Like I would be much more satisfied if you were just like, we freaking suck right now. We've played 13 teams with a losing record, and we went 5-8. 5-8 against teams that we are better than. Like how in the world can you be just so nonchalant and okay and la-di-da? Like as a fan, that infuriates me. And as somebody that is around sports and knows sports, it really irritates me when the coach isn't fired up about a team's poor play. I don't care who you have in the lineup. I don't care who is on your roster. I don't care who is on your schedule. If that's all the emotion I'm going to get from my coach, then that emotion emotes to the players. And you can tell that they are right now looking at it saying, well, maybe next year. Well, maybe this isn't our time. Well, maybe we're too young. There's all these built-in excuses. But the bottom line to it all is that if you're not getting the job done, then you're not getting the job done. And you are way too laissez-faire for my liking for a team with so much talent for you to just be like, oh, well, this is just how we're going to go. And our guys play hard. Well, we hit the ball in spots. We didn't hit the ball. Well, sometimes the pitching fell through. They didn't complete. Who cares about all that? It's your job to manage this baseball team and to get them to where they need to be. And you have not done that. Granted, you do not have the ingredients to be as good as you should be, but good managers and good people and good coaches find a way to do that regardless. You can't tell me that there have not been teams that have had mediocre to average talent and have not overachieved what they've done. Look at the team up north. Look at the Guardians. That team we wouldn't be say was has great talent and has all this leader. No, they're a group of dudes with a guy that's a great leader leading them to victories. Not a guy that says, well, at least we tried. Well, our guys play hard and we tried and this. No, that's not how we get it done here. That's not. It's not. It's Tim, you hit the nail on the head. It's the Marvin Lewis. Well, my guys are they're trying their best. Well, I mean, it is what it is. No, that's not it. Things are decided when the manager makes the decision to go all in. And I'm tired of this kind of, I guess we're okay. But no, that's not it. That's not cutting it. It sucks. It sucks to be a fan. It sucks to watch every time your manager comes to the press conference and you know exactly what he's going to say. You know exactly what he's going to say. And it's frustrating. I get tired of hearing it. Rant over.
I don't think we need to do a show the rest of the day, everyone. I think Ben kind of encapsulated it all right there. That was
it's
right. I am
like as soon as I saw his freaking press conference on Saturday, dude, and he said, "Well, I guess we just need to score more runs." Really? Like that's your answer?
No shit.
That's your answer. You're great. You know what else sport works like that? Every sport in the freaking America works that way. You got to score more points than the other people. Yeah, you're right, Dave. You're spot on. You're spot on. Perfect.
Yeah. What about the fact that you had 2 2-run leads on Saturday and you gave them both up?
Gave them both up. Them both up.
Yeah, it's
just frustrating. And you know, like I said, I never want to be the one that's like giving up on a team but gosh dang, dude, like this is like at some point something needs to change.
Yeah. They are so frustrating fundamentally.
Yes.
Like I can understand if they are talent for talent, not better than teams they play. Correct. And I can live with that because that at that point is not the coaching staff's fault. That is your front office did not set you up to succeed.
Correct.
But when it's like you can't hit the cutoff, man, you're giving up outs on the base path.
Yep.
Like I'm out, man. Like I can't believe in you. And like, look, we say this all the time. We don't want you to come to Late Night Reds because we're going to be bitching and moaning and complaining. Like we want this to be the place for you guys to have some fun. We want to help you with your Sunday scaries before you go to work on Monday. But this team is making this very difficult for us. And
absolutely.
We've never been this way. We've never been like Harry Doyle in Major League, just bringing the Jack Daniels bottle and sitting it down next to us while we're talking about the team. But
not at all.
Josh says this, and he doesn't blame anyone. It's like T-ball, and he doesn't want to be mean. These are adult men making millions, and they should be able to take an ass chewing.
Dude, 1,000%. And I'm not saying you got to ream people in the media and this, that, and the other.
Sure.
But dude, you've got to be like, it's frustrating to watch mistake after mistake. And, you know, like you said, on the base pads, you know, fielding, all the little things that you need to do to be a good baseball. And I'll say this, that's what separates being a mediocre team with mediocre talent from being a mediocre team that overachieves. It's all the little things that you can do to make yourself better. And now that I blame on coaching. You are the guy. You are the key. You are the bridge between a team that's got mediocre talent and can compete to a mediocre team actually just being mediocre. That is coaching.
You 1,000% nailed that on the head. So, like we mentioned yesterday, Reds lead by 2 runs twice in the game. They still lose. Today, the most obvious home run in the history happened today. When you saw Justin Wilson come in, this is not a knock on Justin Wilson. Just want to make sure I get this out because after like Twitter debacle the other day, people seem to think I hate Justin Wilson. I do not hate Justin Wilson. I do think there are better pitchers out there, but I'm not blaming him for that. But that home run he gave it to James Wood today, I was outside playing with Iris and I was listening to the radio call, and it was like the way Tommy set it up was just so obvious it was going to happen. I wasn't even watching the game. I was listening to it. And it was just so obvious that it was like, well, this is going to be a homer. And just hearing him go, and that's a deep fly ball to right field. Benson's going after it, and he looks up, and it's gone. You're like, yep,
Yeah.
Not even mad. Saw it coming.
No, yep. Absolutely.
And this is the thing where you mentioned, so between the Tigers series and to now, it feels like that's kind of we're at the point of the season. And I understand, look, in that gap in between those two series, they go and take 3 out of 4 from the Rockies and 2 out of 3 from the Marlins, and it was nice. But the way you lost these games in Washington are examples of bad teams. And
1,000%.
That's not what we need at this point. And this is so frustrating and so disappointing and so irritating because we all knew this was not what the season was going to be. And I totally respect and understand injuries, suspensions. I respect all of that. And I understand that you're, like Ben said, you're cooking with the ingredients that give you. Ben, I'm a white man, so a lot of us don't really have a lot of seasonings in the cabinet. Yeah.
But you got enough, you know what I mean? You got enough.
I especially have enough. I the way I cook is
no doubt.
I don't like my blank chicken, if you feel me.
There you go, baby.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But man, it's so irritating because you see these glimpses, you see what this team has, and so Sydney said, "Did you see we're selling?" We're gonna get to that in a minute. What up, Branch? Branch in the house, hanging out with us, my guy. But just not fun. And now you got the Braves coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pat's here. All right, we got a full house tonight.
Full house, baby. All right.
Call John Stamos. Can I rant on one thing I didn't put in the slides real quick before we move on?
Absolutely.
So there was I can't remember what the publication was. It might have been The Athletic, which tells you everything you need to know. But someone did recently a power ranking of all the broadcasters for every team.
Okay.
And the Reds were 19th out of 30. And
wow.
To that I say, how dare you?
Wow.
How dare you disrespect John Sadak and Tommy Thrall like that? How dare you disrespect Chris Welsh, the smartest freaking man that does any broadcast in the universe right now? How dare you disrespect the Cowboy? I've left some obvious names off there for obvious reasons. Love them as players, but we know how they went.
Right.
But 19th?
Yeah, 19th. That's crazy.
Come on now. I'm not going to sit here and say I know all 30 broadcasts by any means, but
19, man, that's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible.
That ain't right.
No.
That ain't right. No. So I just had to get that off my chest because I was really, really upset about that because obviously everyone knows I have a good friendship with John Sadak, so I'm always going to go to bat for my guy. And that's my dude. And I think this year has kind of been my favorite John Sadak season because you can see that he feels what we feel.
Yeah.
And it's been very, very vivid in the broadcast where he's not just sugarcoating like, oh man, we'll get him tomorrow.
Right.
He is kind of like, you can hear him like, oh, all right, here we go again. And I want that guy. I want that guy who feels the way we feel. And if there's 18 other people like better than John Sadak and Tommy Thrall and the crew, then I would like to meet them all and probably tell them I'm likely wrong. Like, I'll give you Michael Kay. And I'm not saying he's better than John, but I think he's on the list. I think he's very good. I'll give you Boog. Even though I hate the Cubs, I love Boog Shambi. But now, John Sadak is not 19th.
Not a chance.
We're cutting that now.
We'll nip that in the bud.
So, all right. So let's talk about something cool real quick, guys. Branch, 1,000%. Cowboy post Marty. When Cowboy's like sick of it too, and he's just like not having it. It's awesome.
Yeah, so, Cowboy off the rails is legit.
It's the best. The absolute best. There was a game a couple weeks ago. Stuart Fairchild's playing center field, and he has some. I don't remember if he read a ball bad or if he had a terrible throw. Yeah. Probably a terrible throw. Let's call a spade a spade. Literally on the broadcast, Cowboy goes, "When's CJ Frito back?"
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, there's what it is, Sydney. Thank you. It was awful announcing. So they had him at 18, not 19. Okay, so I was wrong. Let's talk about something fun. So Ben, obviously the All-Star festivities were this past weekend. And we had this is my whiteness showing again. This might be a theme of this week's episode. We had the swaggiest giving of flowers in the history of Cincinnati sports this weekend.
I could say that. Absolutely.
So Deion Sanders did an interview at the celebrity softball game where he was asked about Ellie De La Cruz. And instead of me reading the quote, because I can't do Deion Sanders justice, I'm just going to play the audio clip for you guys.
The shortstop from Cincinnati is phenomenal. Unbelievable. This kid is a complete player. He is unbelievable. I love his game. I love his the flash, the flamboyance. I love he is baseball, man. I love what he brings to the game. The shortstop.
Hearing him say phenomenal was the best.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think that the cool thing about that is that he thinks and knows what everybody else is thinking and knows is that this kid is the future of baseball. Like, you know what I mean? You see him and the flash and all the things that he can do, the 5-tool ability, all that other things, all those things that he has, and the marketability. I mean, he was in commercials. I mean, he's in local commercials. He's in national commercials. I mean, the guy, he's got star written all over him. So to see someone who has had that limelight and had that fame like Coach Prime give flowers to Ellie De La Cruz and see what he's doing, which is cool too, because, you know, Deion is a man, and everybody knows him as Coach Prime, but dude, he is a guy of sports. Like, he knows sports. So for him to come out and say that Ellie De La Cruz is phenomenal and that he loves his game and things like that's big time, because, you know, it's a like you said, it's a passing of the torch. I mean, one flamboyant superstar to another. To see Ellie get that from Deion is pretty cool.
So it's really neat too, in the sense that if you think about, so Deion Sanders has this, I feel like people kind of almost discredit how good of a Major League Baseball player he was. And 2001 was obviously rough, but I'm not going to fault him for playing Major League Baseball for the first time in 4 years. I mean, that happens. Yeah. But best player for the Braves in the 95 World Series, and realistically was the best player on the team in that series. I know they lost the series. Wait a minute. Did they lose that series? What year did they lose? 93? 92, 93.
It might have been 93. Might have been 93.
95 they won. They beat us in the NLCS.
Yeah,
they beat the Indians.
Yeah. So 93.
So 93. So was like incredible in that World Series. Go back and look at the numbers. And then his year with the Giants, played with Barry Bonds. So him come, and then of course in Cincinnati played with Barry Larkin. That 2001 team was not on. They never played a game with Griffey, but they were technically on the same roster because Griffey was on the DL while Deion was up, and when Griffey got reinstated from the DL, Deion got released. So that would have been the coolest dugout of all time. I mean,
that would have been. Oh, that would have been. Yeah, that'd have been swag personified with that one. That'd have been legit.
Nike would be like marketing the Reds so hard.
Absolutely.
Oh, with Diamond Turfs and Air Griffeys, and other than awesome. But I just thought that was so cool because, so we're right now, Deion to me is the greatest athlete of my lifetime, because by the time I got familiar with Bo Jackson was one hip less. So I did not get to see Paul Bunyan Bo Jackson. So this,
by the way, that was, but I mean, it's kind of, I hate to compare the two because they both are phenomenal athletes. But Bo Jackson in his prime, dude, was, gosh, geez, dude, it was incredible. I mean, it was like, it was Herschel Walker on the football field with who was faster.
Dave Parker on the baseball field.
And Dave Parker on the baseball field. Just, I mean, had a freaking rifle for an arm, could hit balls 500 feet. Like he was incredible.
So Ben, this Ellie Deion conversation begs the question. Everyone here always says, we get this in the chat quite a bit, Ellie should play center field. Could Ellie play cornerback?
Oh, he could play corner. He would be a better safety because he's really rangy and long.
Oh,
but he could definitely play. He could definitely play safety. Corner. depending on, you mean in baseball, you don't have to move like your hips a lot.
Mhm.
But if you saw him move his hips, I mean, he probably could play corner. Dude, 6'6" corner would be freaking crazy. I mean,
6'6" with a 4.3.
yeah,
and
with a 4.3 speed. Yeah, like that's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
I would love to see the Deion Sanders versus Ellie De La Cruz race.
Oh yeah, that'd be insane.
So if we did like the all speed Cincinnati race, we're going off the rails here because baseball season's not very fun right now. All right, so let's say we get a 4-man out the gate sprint Olympic style 100 meters. We get Deion, Ellie, Billy, Drew Stubbs. Am I missing anyone like super speed wise with the Reds? I wouldn't put Larkin in there. I wouldn't put Eric Davis in there. Eric Davis probably has a case. Let's do it for funsies. What's that?
Yeah, Eric Davis maybe. Billy Hatcher maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wins?
Dude, that's tough.
He says John Ross. We've been through that already. We're still mad at Marvin Lewis about this.
I say this, and this is only going off of lore of Deion. Like I just can't see anybody outrunning Deion Sanders. Like I that's just me personally, but it would be hard pressed to see him in a 100-yard dash. It'd be hard pressed to see Ellie losing with that long stride, and I don't know, but I can't go against Deion. I would say Deion Sanders.
I think Drew would hold his own. He ran.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he ran like a deer for sure.
Yeah, Drew would definitely hold his own. I mean, it would be a very tight race. I mean, it's not like anybody's blowing anybody out. But yeah, I just think Deion. I think Deion would get him.
Yeah, Sydney says John Ross. How can we forget the legendary pick before Patrick Mahomes, John Ross?
Yeah, you ain't lying. Who's trying to make a comeback?
Who's he playing with now? Oh yeah, I saw that. Was it the Eagles?
Yeah, it might be the Eagles. Maybe I don't know. I just saw John Ross making a comeback, then I switched articles. I didn't really.
That's like every time I see a Terrell Owens thing where it's like 48-year-old Terrell Owens trying to play in the NFL. I'm like,
yeah, I might switch,
buddy. This isn't Mr. 3000. You're already in the Hall of Fame, right? Like,
yeah, I changed the channel. I'm like,
yeah. All right, so the conversation now has been for a while of buy or sell, buy or sell, buy or sell. Who should they get? What should they do? And obviously, after this weekend, there's a lot of sell conversation out there. And so I like to bring this photo up here because this is how I feel about when we're looking to sell.
Oh, that is an on point picture.
And here's the symbolism. Okay, so look here where the meats are, right? That's like probably prime rib.
Yeah.
In this case, it's probably like your Ellie De La Cruzes, your Hunter Greens, your Nick Lodolos. Over here, you probably got some old milk.
Yeah.
So those are like your bad contracts.
Yeah.
No eggs in there. No eggs.
No.
So
yeah.
This is what it's like. This is where we're at right now, folks. So when people are saying like we should sell, okay, let's just talk about the candidates of who they can sell. And it's nothing is going to be exciting. Let's just be 1,000% here. So Josh Beckley says Slim Pickens. Is that in regards to Carl Pickens because we had a Bengals reference, or the Reds trades? Because I'll go welcome to the jungle and talk about Carl Pickens all day. That was my introduction to Bengals football. There wasn't much to be excited about, but Carl Pickens was exciting.
Carl Pickens was legit.
Yeah. So let's kind of go through the conversation here because if you're looking to move prospects to put something together to get a player for 25, it's not what it was pre this Ellie McLean CES run by any means. And then so at this point, and Steve and I talked about this in the live show. I'm open to everyone, probably except for Chase Burns and Rhett Lauder at this point. But I don't know what that necessarily gets him, because if I feel that way, there's a good chance the Reds feel that way. So, all right, now we look at the big league roster. Frankie Montas. Probably your most profitable trade you can make right now. What are you getting?
Yeah, I was going to say, And I honestly, like, yeah, I don't even know how profitable it would be because, like you said, the people aren't gonna give you the same value as what you think Frankie Montas is.
Yeah.
So
All right, so you get that out of the way. I don't think there's a single hitter that has any trade value. That's someone that's not part of the long-term plans. So I don't think people are going to trade for Candelario because he has those additional years in his contract. This isn't a rental. So I don't see that happening. And also, he hasn't been very good for about 5 weeks now.
yeah.
Been pretty brutal. So I think we can take him off the table. Emilio Pagan hasn't pitched, and I don't know. Did you know he still existed?
Nope.
Okay, so there goes that. Justin Wilson had some good, had 2 good months.
Yeah, but
what are you getting for a lefty reliever?
Yeah, I mean nothing.
Someone who doesn't pitch in should not pitch in high leverage situations, but has been the last couple of days and has not gone well. So that brings me to, at this point, the only thing you can move right now, and I don't think I want to anymore. I think I've gotten past it. Like, it's Jonathan India.
Jonathan India. I was going to say Jonathan India is.
I don't think I want to.
No, I don't think so either. He's your only veteran leader. You really got him and Ty Steve. I mean, those two right now are too valuable. I mean, they're way too valuable to try to move. Unless you're just saying we're going down with the ship and we're getting rid of those guys, and if we're selling, then we're going to be all in selling if that's the case. I mean, if that's the case and that's the move, and you feel like those 2 pieces are your selling points, then that means that you're all in. You feel like this season is a complete loss, and you're all in on the sell.
Yeah, and I just think that where they currently are now, in years past, hell yeah, I'd be like, sell them all.
Yeah,
get it out of here. But where I'm at right now,
we're in that dumb middle. We're in the dumb middle
for sure.
We're in the dumb middle. Like we ain't got nobody to sell that's worth selling, and we really can't. We aren't able to take anybody in, and we don't want to move pieces. So we're in a wonky, weird, just dumb middle.
Yeah. I'm sorry if Nate Dodson hears this later. I'm sure I'll get a text message from him. But like at this point, maybe your best move is Graham Ashcraft, and I don't think people are sitting there lighting up and knocking on the door for Graham Ashcraft. No offense, like him a lot, think he's better than he showed this year, but it's not what you think it is. And
not contenders. Contenders are the ones that are in the buying market. So that means you're trying to upgrade what you think you have that's going to put you over the top. When people are trying to buy, you're buying to win a World Series. You're not buying to bring on Graham Ashcraft. Like, you know what I mean? Or Justin Wilson.
Yeah.
I agree. You're not buying for those guys.
Sydney says, does anyone want Loco Luke? I don't want to trade Loco Luke, but if they can get something for him, I'm all for it. That guy deserves to probably play for a winning team. Yeah, man. So I think if the Reds do make trades at this point, it's probably going to be more like your Tyler Naquin deal was in 22, where, don't be wrong, that got you Hector Rodriguez, and I love Hector Rodriguez. I have a lot of faith in Hector Rodriguez. Hector Rodriguez apparently was my point there. But I don't think this is a splash thing. And where I really worry is, like you said, we're in this dumb middle where we have this core group that these are our guys. Like this is the guys we plan to build around. These are the guys we plan to develop and take us to the future in the next great Cincinnati Reds team. And I love that. I think I'm so happy that they have that. But we're still talking about needing a right-handed bat in the outfield. I mean, we're still having this conversation. We've been having this conversation since last year's trade deadline. And we're still there. And so if people want to sell, there isn't much to sell. Sydney's joking about Sam Moll. I mean, everyone will always want a left-handed reliever. I'm not trying to say that by any means. But, dude, like, the Reds have gotten to this point now where, look, this is painful for me to say. The Pittsburgh Pirates are a better franchise than the Reds at this point. And they're letting all these teams just pass them up, and they just don't make these moves. I don't know. Do you think anyone's going to want Fernando Cruz with how he's pitched the last 2 months? He's not been very good.
No.
I think someone would want him if he were available. I just don't know what the Reds are going to do with him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think if teams are looking to get over the top, the only person that I would see being moved, and which, like you said, I don't want him moved now, but it would be Jonathan India. He's the only guy that where you're like, man, that guy could make an impact on a winning team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's probably the only one. Like Frankie Montas doesn't move the needle for me. I'm not a
No, I think the Yankees learned that lesson pretty hard.
Yeah, not that I'm hating on Frankie Montas, but like he wouldn't move. He doesn't move the needle for me. Graham Ashcraft wouldn't move the needle for me. You're not going to get rid of Lodolo. You're not getting rid of Hunter Green. You're not getting rid of, you know what I mean? There's certain guys you're not going to get rid of. So the only one, to me, that would have the impact of being a needle mover for a contender, if you're going to be a seller, would be Jonathan India. That's it. But like I said, I don't want to get rid of Jonathan India. We have very few vets on this team already as it is, and he is one of them that's had a positive impact on this team. So I don't want to move him.
Can we so the Reds seem to have a really good relationship with the Seattle Mariners of late in making trades the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to move Jonathan India, but we need a power bat. They need a middle infielder. What do you say? Julio Rodriguez for Jonathan India. Let's just go ahead and send the paperwork in. As is.
Straight up.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed in that deal, right? I mean, no one's, Julio Rodriguez hasn't had the Julio Rodriguez year. We'll recover in GABP. We'll take the risk.
Yep.
TJ Frito, I don't know. Apparently he's rehabbing again. We'll see how long that lasts before, I hate to say it that way, but, you can go back and play a quarter outfield position. I think priority at this point, whether it's at the deadline or it's in the off season, a whole new outfield. And I hate to say it because I love Will Benson. I love Jake Fraley. And I'm big fans of those guys and I want them to succeed. But, dude, those guys have not been – in a year where the Reds are supposed to take a step forward, none of those guys have helped them take a step forward.
No. And honestly, that's where it all begins, right? With your contenders. A lot of those guys, it starts in the outfield. You had to have guys with big bats, big arms, guys that can make plays, guys that can do things that are game changing. And none of those guys are that. You know what I mean? I hate to say it because I do like them. I'm probably one of the biggest Will Benson fans out there, but he's he's not a guy that's going to, be as consistent as you need him to be a contender. There are probably 5 moves. Reds are probably 5 to 7 moves away from being a really, really good contending baseball team. And 3 of those 5 are the 3 outfield spots.
Yeah.
You need another consistent reliever and you need one more consistent starter.
Yeah, man, I agree.
I think you're there. I mean, you're there. Your core is there. It's just, as we've seen, you can't fill spots on a major league roster with guys. Gosh, I don't want to make this sound bad, but you can't fill spots in a major league roster with guys like Stuart Fairchild, and that's not knocking Stuart Fairchild. But if you're trying to be a championship,
the Reds beg to differ, Ben. The Reds beg to differ.
But if you're trying to be a championship caliber team, like that's not the guys you need to build around. And I'm not saying that those guys he's a bad guy or he has a spot, he has a place, he's a spot player, but he can't get consistent at bats in a championship contending baseball team. That just can't happen. Just can't happen.
Do you think Alexis Diaz just has the best life right now since he never has to pitch anymore because of where the Reds are, and David Bell only used him in the 9th inning? So he pitched on Sunday before they took the All-Star break. Didn't see a single inning in Washington. Had all those days off because he wasn't going to the All-Star game. By the way, that should Fernando Cruz be the closer conversation over Alexis Diaz? Closers are very stupid. Really quiet conversation of late. Real quiet.
Yeah, it is super quiet. super quiet.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, I don't know, dude. I just think that we're at this point now where it's like, do something interesting. I'm still really upset about. I don't know if I'm upset about the Chase Burns pick. I don't think I am anymore, but I think it'll be a cool thing to kind of have this growth and make this like sort of rotation a part of your future. But these people who are like Chase Burns and Hunter Green, that team's gonna be that's game 1 and 2 of the World Series. I'm like, let's calm it down, guys.
Yeah, relax.
We're not going to a World Series, all right? Let's just kind of
let's be honest.
yeah. Hey, happy note, because I'm trying not to just dampen everyone's Sunday night. Angels in the Outfield officially had the Disney Plus. Did you notice?
Oh, really? I've not been on Disney Plus recently. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. How can we forget Danny Glover playing the beat up catcher from Cincinnati and having the Johnny Bench Sports Illustrated cover?
Yep. That's
they
funny.
thought they could sneak one past us.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yep.
Now.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Let's look at this real quick. So let's talk about Nick Lodolo. And July has obviously not been his best month. And I'm going to go ahead and answer my own question saying I don't have concerns, and I'll get to why here in a second. But I'm just kind of curious your thoughts. So obviously it's not had a great July so far. Yesterday was the first, it's only been 3 starts, but yesterday was the first time he even got into the 5th inning. He got into the 6th, which was nice. And then they took him out when the game ended up being tied. The strikeout numbers are still there. I think where I'm a little disappointed is the walks, but also I'm going to preface that with this is a guy who's been on the IL 74 times this year. So I'm pretty sure just this like gaining momentum, stop, sit there for a couple days to recover, go do a rehab assignment, get back on the big league club like rotation routine has probably been very, very difficult and frustrating for him. So I don't think I'm freaking out. I don't think I'm upset. I don't think I'm disappointed or concerned. I just think that I think he's one of those guys that just needs to constantly get the ball every 5th day to get in his rhythm, and I think he'll be fine. Yeah. Where are you at with him?
No, I don't have any concern. I think the thing that Lodolo needs to learn the most is that he gets a lot of swing and miss strikeouts on bad pitches.
Yeah, he does.
And people are starting to not swing at those. So then he's having to throw more balls in the zone. He has to learn how to get swing and miss pitches in the zone, if that makes sense. So
sure.
He does. I mean, when the season started, dude, people were looking just stupid swinging at his stuff because it was slicing everywhere.
It was so fun.
It was out of the zone. Yeah, and it was great. But people are, and that's why you see the walk numbers are starting to go up a little bit because people are starting to just say, okay, well, I'm just going to wait till he throws me something in the zone, and all of his stuff is sliding out of the zone. So then they do getting walks. His biggest thing is that he's got to learn how to throw strikes, missable strikes in the zone. And that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed is that when he's throwing pitches in the zone, it's usually the fastball, and people are waiting to get the fastball. Once he can get his cutter and his slider to stay in the zone, and people are missing it, and they're not becoming ball pitches, they're strike pitches, then you'll start to see him get back to that. But then again, that is a part of rhythm. So if he's been on the IL so many times, and there's so many starts he's missed, and things that he hasn't been able to do, and he's battling blisters and everything else. That is a feel thing. That's a rhythm thing. So hopefully he'll get back to that where he's starting to get some more swings and misses, and getting some more swings and misses in the zone is the biggest thing for him, and not allowing so many walks.
Yeah, I'm with you. You kind of mentioned, you kind of hit the nail on the head in the sense of just kind of seeing people not swing at these pitches anymore. That backdoor breaking ball that people were swinging at and getting hit by, you've seen people actually take a hit pitch a little bit. And that happened yesterday a couple times in that game. And I think so that's kind of where things are going to kind of see him take that next step, that maturation we often talk about with these young guys. And so I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Specifically Friday, he's going to be taking the hill. It looks like if everything goes as planned against the Rays in the Trop. There'll be like 5 of us there. So, he's not, it's going to be like pitching in COVID again. So
yeah, it is.
Hopefully he can kind of
I was so mad, dude. I was down there, and I was going to go try to see a game in the Trop, and they were away. I was so pissed.
I always want to see it strictly because I hear about how brutal it is.
Yeah, that's exactly why I wanted to go. I was like, I wanted to check it out for myself.
Yeah, that's like my one thing. Yeah, I am excited to see if they're getting a new stadium. I think that they're long overdue for that, and
absolutely,
that's a franchise that's done very well for your city. They've won a lot of games, and your your city has not really paid attention, and so hopefully this helps that. And I'm really excited for them. Never forget that the Toronto Raptors during COVID were the Tampa Bay Raptors because people couldn't go to Canada.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
What a weird time.
What a weird time. Strange times we lived in.
Couple more things before we get out of here for the week. One I'll go ahead and bring up. So I'm pretty excited to see the 2025 schedule's out, and this is a terrible graphic by me, so I apologize. But want to kind of talk about some of the highlights that I saw that are really exciting. First off, the opening day is the San Francisco Giants this year. Last time the Reds opened up against the Giants, 1999. That was a fun year.
Okay. Yeah.
We got the Texas Rangers coming back to town. We got a series with Seattle in April, so that'll be fun. The Battle of Ohio, Ben, is back to normal, regular scheduled programming.
Okay.
2 3-game sets. So
nice.
Still has the possibility to be a tie at 3-3, just less likely now.
Absolutely.
In June, you got the Yankees coming to town. Always fun when the Yankees come to town. Just a totally different vibe and energy in the stadium. With all those Yankees fans from Price Hill that come down for the game. And the Padres right after that. So you could see a lot of heavy hitters. I'm thinking 4th of July weekend at Fenway Park might be a little fun.
That would be really fun.
I'm yet to go to Fenway. And then here's what really cracked me up. So in September of next year, there's a weekend schedule. It's like the 12th, 13th, and 14th. It just says ATH because no one knows where the hell the Oakland Athletics are going to play next year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we can see the Twins next year. We got that Yankees series. Tampa Bay comes to Cincinnati instead of Cincinnati goes to Tampa. But hey, right before the All-Star break, same two teams, Miami and Colorado, right before the All-Star break next year. So, yeah, fun, Obviously, a lot can happen between now and then, but
absolutely.
I like that schedule.
Yeah, I do too. I like that schedule a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be having the same conversation next year, just bitching about the Yankees came to town and kicked their ass. And actually, do you think the Yankees are even going to bother to show up in Cincinnati next year after 4th of July this year? Do you think they after 4th of July they're going to be scared?
Maybe. You never know. You never know how it's going to go.
Aaron Judge just so happens to leave his bat at Yankee Stadium.
Right.
What happened?
I don't know. Kind of tricky.
They don't want that smoke.
No.
They don't want that smoke at all. All right. Well, let's get to it real quick. So the Braves series is up next. The Reds head to the ATL. Obviously, the Braves do not have Ronald Acuna, which is a total damper for the wonderful sport of baseball. And they have not really missed a beat. They're still 10 games above 500. They are 8.5 behind the Phillies in their division, but the Phillies are unbelievable. Have a 4-game lead on the wild card, a plus 58 run differential, and are 30-19 at home. So,
wow.
Yeah.
We got that going for us.
Right. Tomorrow being Monday, that's going to be a really awesome patch up. It's Hunter Green versus Ronaldo Lopez. Tuesday is supposed to be the Carson Spire spot. As you see, I put LOL because there's conversations of Nick Martinez or a bullpen day. And it would be awesome when you play the Braves at home, a bullpen day. Yeah. That's what everybody wants.
Against Chris Sale.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
The returning all-star Chris Sale, who found his groove again. And
he sure has,
incredible.
Man. He's been freaking phenomenal. Gosh.
Yeah. And then Wednesday, I'll be watching this game at the airport as I am getting ready to take off for my family vacation. But Frankie Montas and their starters to be determined. I don't know if they've announced yet if that's going to be a bullpen day or if they've put a name in just yet. But please don't ruin my birthday, Frankie Montas. Like, if you could just not do that, that would be awesome.
Hey, your birthday happiness depends on Frankie Montas.
Yeah. Even though I'm going to Disney World.
I was going to say, good thing you're going to Disney that day.
Yeah. Yeah. My flight doesn't leave till 4. So
yeah, that's all right.
If he has a bad game and I got to sit there and sit on a flight and just like think about that.
Oh man.
Be really difficult. I won't really like that. But
yeah,
I mean, it's the Braves. You always know they're always going to be good. I just think that I'm not really upset that the Braves are always good. I just respect the hell out of them. I just really hate that chop. It's the same reason I hate Florida State. I don't have any issues with Florida State as a team. They're athletes, they're unis, the color scheme. I think it's all dope. I just hate that stupid chop. I hate it. Hate it.
Really?
Albeit, I've never been to a Florida State home game. So maybe if I had been there, maybe I'd like it.
I have not.
I mean, Peter Warrick's one of my favorite players ever.
Yeah.
So
the chop though, like you don't get down with the chop.
Hate it.
Wow.
The chop is right under the wave and stupid things fans do at sporting events for me.
Oh wow.
Like here's the wave and the chop
right here. Is right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not into it, man. You like it?
Nah, I don't really get into it.
You're like questioning me about it. You're kind of right.
Nah, you're kind of right about it. I don't really get into it. It's kind of annoying, but
all right. Well, I'm
with you. I'm with you on that for sure.
I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah, I'm with you for that.
And then last thing, like I mentioned, so I'll be on vacation. I will not be here next week. But that doesn't mean there won't be a late night Reds. As a matter of fact, you're gonna see someone who looks just like me.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so please hang out with Ben next week as he is going to be doing the show with our good buddy Jeff Carr of Locked On Reds.
Yes, indeed.
Jeff is going to fill in for me. Was nice enough to say he would come hang out next week and do the show. I know Ben will make him feel just at home like he always does, and so It'll be awesome. And I am sad I'll miss having Jeff on the show. So
yeah, I can't wait. Jeff is an awesome dude. I can't wait to chop it up with him. We'll have a lot of fun. Even though we'll miss you, but you'll be at Disney, so enjoy yourself.
Yeah, actually, I'll be in the Bahamas at that point.
That's right. Yeah, because you're
Yeah. I'll be at the Bahamas watching the U.S. Olympic team, the basketball team play. When everyone's like out there, like on like their like beautiful private island, I'll be sitting at some bar on the boat, like
watching them play.
Yeah.
Not bad though, but at least it's the Bahamas. So.
Right, for sure. I mean, I don't think people know this. The people who like talk in our Slack know this, but like I love USA basketball. Absolutely love it. It's like my favorite thing. People think it's weird that I love it so much. I don't care. It is like I grew up rooting for bad sports teams. So once every 4 years, I get a super dominant team that I can enjoy. All right, let me have it. But yeah, so that's that. But hey, man. I think we got like 10 minutes before, like we're cutting 10 minutes early compared to what we normally do, which is nice. Unless anyone has any questions they want to throw our way before we get out of here, but I'll wait a minute to see. Otherwise, I'm going to let Ben get some sleep because is it 2 days time yet?
You know what? The state of Kentucky doesn't allow us to do 2 days because they're extremely soft, but we do have our first padded practice tomorrow. So that'll be exciting.
Oh, they took 2 days out?
Oh, dude. So the way they do it, they actually didn't remove it. The way they do it now is that you have to have a 4-hour window between a contacted practice. So if we were going to do it, like if our first practice was 8 to 11, you have to have a window of 4 hours before you have another paddock. So that means you have to come back at like 3:30 or 4 or something. It's like, it's not even worth doing that. But you can have the long practice. So like tomorrow we go 8 to 11:30. So like it's a full day of like film and lifting and then we have practice. Yeah, so it works out. But yeah, they took 2 days out. They got heat indexes. It's soft.
Soft. That's like your most old man thing you've ever said.
I know. The kids are like, Oh my gosh, it's so hot out here. I'm like, we didn't have a heat index. What are you talking about?
Back in my day, we wore
in
full
my-
pads and 7
Back
on
in my day,
7.
we were full pads, running in the heat. Shoot, this is nothing.
Yeah. Well, I will say for the sake of the kids, I am very happy that they have thought about their health and safety for once.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's not like the NFL, who's like, "What if we add another game?"
Right? Yeah, we need another game. Why not? Let's do it.
Sure.
What's that? $1 billion in revenue? Sure, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Players' health and safety, concussion protocols. Phooey.
I'm out.
Not
I don't believe in that. Yeah. Well, all right. I think we've hit the mark. I think we can roll here. So, hey guys, thank you all so much for hanging out as always. I'm really sorry if we were not our usual happy selves and this team has broken our souls. But we're trying. We're trying. We're trying. Again, please hang out next week when Jeff's here with Ben. It's gonna be awesome. It'll probably be our highest rated show of all time because it's Jeff and not me. But Jeff looks just like me, so
yeah,
that's what people tell us at least.
They do.
We don't see it. But thank you all as always. Again, check us out. Check us on YouTube, and you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do so. If you are checking us out on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere, please give us a follow. And then, of course, patreon.com/Riverfront Cincy. That's the place to be. You can hang out with us. You can hang out with Sydney. You can hang out with Branch. We're there all the time, and we just chat it up all day. So on behalf of Ben Brown, this is Tim Daniel. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you all next weekend.